Hey guys, it's Dark Gaia here again. Bringing you another deck list. I went 4-0 at locals with it the other day, surprisingly. It's a pretty great deck. As you can see, yep, Parshath. We are playing Counter Fairies. I will show you guys the deck right now. It's a pretty sweet deck. So, boss monster of the deck, we do play just a one of. He is a very good boss monster. Comes out whenever you resolve a counter trap successfully. He just banishes two fairies from your hand, grave, or field, depending on if he's in your hand or grave. So he can come out of either spot. And he inflicts piercing. And when he inflicts battle damage, you can search your deck for a Parshath card or a counter trap. Had a lot of fun searching out Solemn Judgment with this guy. Next, we got three Power Angels. Searcher of the deck. Whenever you resolve a counter trap, you can search your deck for a light fairy. She is a once per turn though, so you won't be able to stack her effect. But most of the time, all you need to do is the one search per counter trap. Very good card. I'm usually searching out Honest with her or in Guiding Ariadne. Next up is Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. So whenever you resolve a counter trap card with her out, she gains a permanent 500 buff for attack. And when you have Sanctuary in the Sky out, whenever you resolve a counter trap, you can take a counter trap from your grave with a different name from it and add it to your hand. People had a really hard time getting over this card. She got really big really fast. Even at like two counter traps resolving 2700 plus the other card that buffs her by 300, so she's a 3000 just for resolving two counter traps. That's not bad at all. Very nice. Can't play counter fairies without Bountiful Artemis, the original counter fairy dude. Every time you resolve a counter trap, you draw a card. I was so he doesn't activate. He is a passive effect, so just you'll draw. You don't have to worry about like Divine Wrath or anything that will negate his effect like that. Unless it's being veilored or impermed. But yeah, he just lets you draw. The triple Guiding Ariadne. As you know, counter traps are pretty steep with their cost sometimes. This helps mitigate the damage we take. And then if we need to, whenever it's destroyed, we can search for three counter traps. Our opponent lets us select one and puts it to their hand. You can pick three of the same trap. I was grabbing Solemn Judgment with that quite often. One Meltiel. Just because he's not that great, but he's okay. He gains 1,000 every time you can resolve a counter trap. And when you have Sanctuary in the Sky out, he can pop a card. The 1,000 health increase is not bad, just because of how much life you're paying with for all your other cards. Next up, we have Triple Honest. It's light fairies. We want the Triple Honest solely because there's another card that helps us get it out insanely fast. We got Triple Sanctum of Parshath. This is the card that was helping Minerva get so huge. 300 attack and defense for all fairies. Your opponent cannot target or destroy your face down spells and traps. And once a turn, you can select a combination of three fairies or counter traps and just put them on top of your deck. This card's very nice. It helped block a Cosmic Cyclone from banishing one of my Solemns. So they had to target this first. It was amazing. The card's so good. This is the card that helps us get Honest out really fast. Ties of the Brethren. Whenever this card resolved, I pretty much just won the game a couple turns later. It's because you can't battle the turn you activate it. Big Ash target. It did get ashed once, surprisingly, out of all my games. Yeah, you just pick a monster. You take two monsters with the same type level and attribute and special summon them. So if I would usually have Power Angel or Minerva, and I'd bring out either Power Angel, Minerva, and then Honest. Or sometimes Artemis if I had one or the other in my hand. But yeah, this card's so good. Don't let that resolve. Next is Three Pot of Extravagance. I don't care too much about my extra deck, and this card really helped with the consistency of the deck. I remember I played this deck a long time ago when the structure deck first came out, and this draw power was so non-existent. This really helped out. The extra is definitely a thing. Could even do prosperities. That might not be a bad choice either, but extra definitely good. One Sanctuary in the Sky, just for the name, honestly, and sometimes it's relevant. Like, you won't take battle damage from your fairies. It can save you with because of all the counter traps that you're paying life points for. And then one Called by the Grave. My honest opinion of this card to be in the deck was I was looking at Ties of the Brethren and I was like, I really don't want this card to get ashed. So I just threw in Called by the Grave to help prevent that. I didn't have it when I got ashed, but that's why it's in here. Next, we got the counter traps. Obviously, 3 Solemn Judgments. Probably the best counter trap in the game, just because it says no to literally everything. You'll always have half your life points, so it's always live. And what was it? I was able to search this out a lot with Arc Aeronite Parshath. Love Solemn Judgment. Big fan of this card. Next up is Triple Solemn Strikes. It protects you from hand traps and any other troublesome effect monster or special summon. 1,500 life points is not that bad to spend in this deck. Even better when you have Ariadne to make all these free. Then to round out, we got 3 Solemn Warnings. So we are playing 3/3/3 of the Solemns. Just because this deck can. Ariadne really opens up that door. Ariadne is actually a very important part of the deck, even though it doesn't seem like it does too much. It saves you a lot on life points. Just being able to flip a counter trap without having to spend anything is always a feel-good moment. 2 Ultimate Providence. Surprisingly, whenever I had this card set, I did not have Ariadne out, so I was always able to just send either a monster or spell for the effect, because that's all I really needed to negate with it. So whenever when you negate something, you have to discard the proper card type in response. So if I'm negating a monster effect, I have to discard a monster. Same thing with Spells Trap. It's another version of Solemn, just without the life points and a little more restrictive. And the last card for the main deck is 1 Rebirth of Parshath. Only one because it's a steep cost. You have to reveal a counter trap, discard a card, and then pay 1,000 life points to negate the activation of a spell trap or a monster effect. After you do resolve it, though, you can special summon a Parshath monster from deck or extra deck. So, as of right now, it's just Sacred Arc Aeronite Parshath, sorry. But later on, I will eventually have more extra deck versions of him. Speaking of the extra deck, it ain't nothing special, but we play an extra deck just for extra, so we have stuff to banish. There's also some things that do correspond with other parts of the side deck. Like Last Warrior. I side deck Waken the Dragon. He's obnoxious to bring out. I couldn't find my Boral Sword or Boral Dragon, so I just have a couple of these guys in there. Just a generic Link 4. And he's not bad if you ever do need him. I also play Super Poly in my side deck. And there's a couple Eldritch decks running around, so I figured why not. And worst case scenario, if I banish the other 2 targets off Extra, he can't come out through Waking the Dragon. Nightmare Phoenix. This card actually saved me from, no joke, a Toon deck. And the Toon deck was pretty scary because they all attack directly. And Honest isn't good against them because they attack directly. And also, you're paying so much life points. Direct attacks from things like Gemini Elf or Dark Magician Girl, they're very killer. Nightmare Phoenix have definitely helped out. I would I'm probably gonna put in a third one just to be safe. Uh, Honestly, a super poly target at the very worst case scenario, but kind of just in here because I can. I didn't bring her out, Underworld Goddess, but she's in here for the sole purpose of I can if I want to. Um, I'll just go right to the IP just because they correlate. I play that too. IP is just a name, and also I have the Nightmare Unicorn. There's another Phoenix. Ultimate Falcon because Awaken the Dragon. The Unicorn combo. Super Poly if I want. I just think it'd be hilarious against Shadow to bring out a window and kind of just be like, hey, now you can't do anything. Uh, Honestly, just in here because it's an extra deck card. Serves no purpose, but I couldn't find anything else, so I just threw it in here. Another Griffin and Super Poly target, Starving Venom. Yeah, extra deck isn't really anything too great. It's just stuff that I was like, oh hey, I need a 15th card, or oh hey, I need extra deck slots to fill up for pot. I'll get to my side deck. My side deck is more for my locals. If your locals are anything like mine, then it'd kind of be like it. But also, I'm probably going to put some Spell and Trap Disruption in here as well. So we got 3 Ghost Spell. In here mainly because Drytron. And Ghost Spell's pretty good against Drytron. Lancias, mostly for Tri-Brigade and Dinosaurs. Invoked, it can also help against, so they'd have to use their hand and field for Invocation, which isn't bad. It kind of forces your opponent to do plays that they don't want to do. Christia, because it's not hard to get the 4 fairies, and she will recycle like an Honest or something. I have her in here in case I like go against a deck that relies on the special summoning. I just kind of link away fairies and then get the 4 in there, bring her out. Probably going to change. Probably going to put the Spell and Trap Destruction over her. But that was my thought process. Awaken the Dragons. Just because it's counter fairies, your opponent's going to side deck in the back row hate. So you're going to side deck in the hate against the back row hate. That's why those are in there. And then 3 Super Polys. My main concern with my deck is if Dragoon happens, I don't really have any way to get rid of him. So I have the Super Polys in the side deck, and I'll just make a Starving Venom. Yeah, so that is the deck, guys. Honestly, it was super fun to play this deck. I found it very refreshing that I wasn't playing any form of meta at all. And I know people... It kind of Fairy seems like a really annoying deck. I'll give anyone that. But just to see the fact that it did so well against meta decks, it felt really nice. I'd give it a shot, maybe to do your own spin on it, or just net deck mine. Honestly, it's a really fun deck. That is the end of the video, though, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, please. It would mean a lot to me. And for those that are subscribed, you guys are literally the best. Can only go up from here, honestly. You do want to make this channel grow. This is Dark Gaia, though. All y'all have a good day, and see you later.